All right, so we're diving into Thai politics today. We've got this stack of news articles from November 3rd, 2024, and they're all about this new Swan Dusit poll.
Hmm.
It seems like you're really interested in what the Thai public is thinking these days.
Yeah, definitely, especially about the government and how Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra is doing.
So should we just crack open this poll and see what we can find?
Let's do it. It's a really interesting time in Thai politics, and, public opinion is so important.
Right.
Swan Dusit poll, they're really well respected, so these numbers should give us a good idea of what people are feeling.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, it looks like the government's approval rating is actually going up.
Yeah.
Not bad for a government that's still relatively new. Yeah.
Definitely a good sign. It seems like they're maybe finding their footing.
Maybe hitting the right notes with the public.
Yeah.
And speaking of hitting the right notes, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra is doing really well in this poll.
Oh, yeah.
It says 52.81% see her as like the top political figure in the whole country. I mean, she's basically the Beyonce of Thai politics right now.
She's definitely someone to watch. That kind of popularity gives her so much power.
Right.
And it'll be interesting to see how it affects her government and their agenda.
It seems like one of the things that's really resonated with people is how the government responded to the recent flooding.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Showing up during a crisis can be a good look.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not just about showing up, though. It seems like people are responding to their proactiveness, and how targeted their relief efforts were.
Uh-huh.
Like right away, they got that 10,000 baht cash handout to vulnerable groups.
Right.
Which was a campaign promise. So
they deliver.
Exactly. It's not just reacting, It shows that they're going to actually follow through on what they said.
So people want to see action, not just words.
Totally. It builds trust and shows that they're reliable, and this kind of ties into their whole soft power policy.
Oh, soft power. Remind me what that is again. I feel like it's kind of a subtle thing.
Yeah, it is. Soft power is all about influence, but through persuasion and attraction rather than force.
Okay.
Think of it like cultural diplomacy or showcasing the best parts of Thailand, and engaging with the world in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
The government's really investing in this approach, and it looks like it's working.
Yeah.
It's improving their image both in Thailand and internationally.
So it's like saying, hey, look at all the amazing things Thailand has to offer.
Right. And it's working. It's a long-term strategy, but it's clever. Because by improving their global image, they're also strengthening themselves domestically.
Okay, I see how that works.
People feel proud when their country is respected on the world stage.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's talk about the opposition for a second.
Okay.
They're still seen as doing their job,
Yeah.
like keeping the government on its toes.
Mm-hmm.
But their overall approval rating has dipped a little.
Yeah. They're facing a bit of an uphill battle right now. It seems like just despite their efforts to hold the government accountable, they're not really capturing the public's attention in the same way.
Yeah. The poll mentions that they're demanding justice for the Talk-By incident.
Right.
I have to admit, I don't know a ton about that.
Yeah.
Can you give me some context?
Oh, yeah. So the Talk-By incident, that was back in 2004.
Okay.
A protest in southern Thailand turned violent. A lot of people were hurt and killed. It's still a very sensitive topic in Thai politics.
Wow.
There are a lot of people demanding justice. So the opposition is focusing on this.
Uh-huh.
It shows that they care about human rights and past injustices.
Right.
But it doesn't seem to be connecting with the wider public.
So they're making a stand on an important issue, but it's not really getting through to people.
Yeah, I think that's right. Maybe people see it as dwelling on the past.
Interesting.
While the government is focused on the future and taking action.
It's all about how it's perceived, right?
Yeah, perception is everything in politics. They've also been talking a lot about things like electricity concessions and traffic fees.
Right. Those kind of hit people where it hurts, right?
In their wallets, exactly.
So why aren't those criticisms sticking?
That's a good question. Maybe the public just isn't buying the solutions that the opposition is offering.
Okay.
Or maybe the government's doing a better job of getting their message across on these issues.
That makes sense. I mean, we talked about how they're making moves to reduce the cost of living.
Exactly. And that probably resonates more with the average person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, though, because the poll actually highlights how well the opposition is doing in those parliamentary debates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're sharp and articulate, but it seems like that's not translating into popularity.
It's like they're winning the battles in Parliament, but not winning over the hearts and minds of the people outside.
Right, it's like a disconnect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, about the gap between politics and what the public actually thinks.
I guess they need to find a way to connect with people on a deeper level.
Totally. It's not just about the policy details. It's about communicating a vision, building trust, inspiring people.
Okay, so we've got this dynamic, the government gaining momentum, the opposition kind of struggling, and then there's PM Paetongtarn, who's doing really well in the polls.
She's a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Right.
But remember, her popularity isn't coming out of nowhere. She's got a legacy, a name that carries a lot of weight.
The Shinawatra name.
Exactly. And that name evokes really strong feelings, both positive and negative.
Right. Her father, Thaksin, he's a huge figure in Thai politics.
A controversial figure. Some people love him, some people hate him.
So how is all of that family history impacting Paetongtarn?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, on one hand, she's inherited this political capital. The Shinawatra name has power, especially among rural and working-class Thais who loved Thaksin's policies.
So she's got that Shinawatra magic working for her.
For sure. But you said double-edged sword, so what's the other side?
Right. Well, the other side is that she also inherits the baggage. You know,
Right.
Some people really dislike her father, and they see her as an extension of him and all that controversy.
Exactly. Her opponents will definitely use that against her.
It's a tough position to be in.
It is. She's got to capitalize on the name recognition while also distancing herself from the more divisive parts of that legacy.
It's a delicate balancing act.
For sure. And it'll be so interesting to see how she handles it.
And what about how her popularity impacts the government as a whole? Could this be their chance to really get things done?
A popular prime minister is a huge asset. It gives the government confidence and the ability to take risks and make big changes.
Okay, so they might try to use this momentum to reshape things.
Maybe. But public opinion can be unpredictable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And politics is always changing, so nothing is guaranteed.
So this poll, it gives us this snapshot of what's happening in Thai politics right now.
Right.
It's really complex.
Absolutely. It shows us the hopes and fears and expectations of the Thai people.
Yeah, and their opinions have the power to shape the future of the Getri.
Exactly. It's a reminder that politics isn't just about politicians, you know? It's about people's lives.
So what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from this? What's the big takeaway?
The power of public opinion. It can literally change the course of a nation.
Wow, yeah. And what should they be thinking about as they follow this story? What's the big question?
Here's something to think about. Given how complicated Thai politics is with the monarchy, the military, the political parties, and the people, what do you think are the possible futures for democracy in Thailand?
Ooh, that is a great question. A lot to unpack there.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for breaking all of this down with me. It's been really insightful.
My pleasure.
And to our listener, keep those questions coming. Until next time.
Bye.